Oh,
All
mother.
right, look, this is just the redo. All right, fat bastard, you know what the fuck's up. We're out here, and I'm here with my boy Jimmy. You remember him from last episode? He sucked off his parents, and you remember I said, fuck my parents. And we got a new voice, new blood, new meat. His name's Chief, and we're going to start off. Chief, first sexual experience. All right, go.
Very first sexual experience. I was 14. She was 14. She was technically, of course, my very first girlfriend. I guess first love at that moment in time. Um, I went to public school. She went to private. So I ditched that day to be with her. I don't know what kind of holiday it was for her, but went over to her house early in the morning and pretty much, you know, we just started going at it. Pretty much that was it.
Wait, you're 14,
Yep,
and where were you?
at her house.
At her house, and her parents. It was just you and her.
Yep, her parents. Basically, I mean, of course they weren't there. They went to work. Father was an architect, and the mother was, I believe, paralegal.
Okay. So what? A little bit of background. Like, how did you see her? What made you talk to her? How did you guys? What? How did she respond to you before you guys started fucking around?
Oh, I remember that vividly. It was a carnival going on close to my house, and I went there with my friends. And again, me and her, we didn't even know each other at all. And then somehow we were. I can't remember exactly what happened, but we connected. We started talking. We were on the benches. Of course, I introduced myself. She introduced herself, and then my friends became friends with her friends. Slightly, and then from that point, I asked her, "Hey, let's go on rides together." So we were going on rides, and I remember this: we were on the Hammerhead, going in circles, and then I even asked her, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" She goes, "Yes." I said, "Is it okay if I could kiss you?" And that was our very first kiss on a ride,
What ride?
the Hammerhead.
Is that a what is that a carousel or a Ferris wheel or?
No, it just spins around. So it goes back and forth, and then it starts spinning around. Just think of it as a hammer, and then the heavy part is basically that's where we were sitting in.
Okay, so you're getting hot and heavy in the hammerhead. I got you.
Yep. Exchange phone numbers, and yeah, it was ongoing from that point on. And then I think it was about December. That's she was on vacation, and I probably had a one more week to go for school, and then next thing you know, I think that was basically my Christmas gift from her.
All right, I know you remember the details, so walk us through it. Come on,
Oh
spill it.
shit.
You got to walk us through it. I know you remember.
Uh Got off the bus, skateboarded to her house. Um Basically she was still wearing like her pajamas. I walked up the stairs, knocked on the door. She was still wearing her PJs and came in, and I just went straight to her room. Uh you know, we talked a little bit, and yeah, I guess we just started making out and started going from there.
You're losing. You're losing some detail here. I know you. I know you know what I want. I know you know what Jimmy and I want.
Well, what can I say? I mean, 14 was a while ago, but again, as far as I can remember, she was wearing her PJs. Basically, I started going under her shirt. touching, and just basically, we're both touching each other, and of course, it's new to her because she's never done this at all. Um, but definitely, she was willing 100%. And she started touching me as I started to touch her, and then I took off my clothes, and this was the very first time I actually like wore a condom. And now I can't remember if I actually had the condom or she had the condom, but for our very first time we used a condom. But then after that, like every time after that, we never wore a condom. So I mean, it could have been possibility that you know she would have ever gotten pregnant, but I've always pulled out. So that was the always thing I've ever heard: pull out, pull out. But before that, I mean, I put it on, and then she was laying on the bottom, legs wide open, and yeah, we just started going for it. I mean, I didn't know that at that moment in time. Oh my god, that I hurt you because she was bleeding, and we didn't know. But a week later after that, that's when we started doing it more and more and more often, getting more riskier. We did it in her parents' bedroom. We did it in like her parents finally like saying, "Oh yeah, they could sleep over, and this is Christmas too." So I slept in the living room, and she actually came, woke me up really early in the morning and started being on top of me, riding me. So I'm not gonna say no to that.
So the first time, did you feel? I know you said she was willing, but were you awkward about it? Like, were your hands shaking? You were touching each other, and your hands
Yeah,
doing.
I mean, me caressing her, I didn't. Even though it's my very first time, I've made out with girls before, but it's just like we've never gone to that extent, you know. But
But she was confident, and you were just as confident about it.
pretty much, yeah. I mean, we were relaxed, but nervous at the same time.
Yeah.
And then, and then it just kept on happening more and more. And uh, again, I was basically on top, and she told me, okay, I guess, I didn't think about trying to ram it in, but it's like, of course, she was tight. And I'm trying to force it in, and I'm like, okay, again, I don't know what the fuck hell I was doing, per se. I mean, if things was going on right now, like shit, I'll be an expert on it. But yeah, it was so new, and then it just felt good. And then, but a funny thing is, I don't even remember if I came or not in the condom. I have no idea. I don't think I did.
So you don't remember what it looked like. You don't. Yeah. You don't
No,
remember the feeling. Or,
no, because you know what? Funny thing is that I'm pretty sure I didn't come, but I mean, it felt good, but it was just really different with the condom on. But like, she kept the condom in one of her like little love box or private box, or I don't know what it's called.
oh, what the fuck?
I know it's like our first thing, our very first time of sex.
You think she still
But
has that thing? That thing's probably petrified. It's got.
oh
Goddamn, that
god,
was like a million billion gazillion ass years ago. Fucking Chief here. He's as old as fucking. He was around when fucking I don't know, fucking the Neanderthals. All right, he's ancient. He travels
I,
time and space, but apparently has a really young mind. This guy Chief. That's really cute. Your experience. I'm glad you shared that with us. I'm sure Jimmy. Any thoughts?
Uh, sounds like a pretty cute first love story to me. So, like
Yeah,
first experience and everything.
was,
yeah. The
I'm not
fucking
gonna lie,
And
and
you
then
said you met her at a carnival or
yeah,
okay, nice.
that's straight out
met
the
her in
Nowadays it
the
seems
fucking.
park.
like something like that would be really weird and you'd be looked at as a creep or something if like we tried that nowadays, which is kind of sad, but
Your shit's straight out of a damn Disney movie or just some fucking rom-com. It's like, oh, we as kids, we met at school and it was love at first sight. We were high school sweethearts and our first time was amazing. We did it in the back of our 77 Duster. And
The duster.
But I
she
have to
was
admit,
she was so scared and I was so
you
nervous and my friends were telling me to do this and do that. And I was like, I'm not gonna listen to you. I know what to do. And I was looking at my dad's nudie mags and I know what a vagina looks like and I don't know if she has pubes or not, but if she has pubes, I'm gonna massage them with essential
Oh my God.
oils and I'm gonna whisper Barry White lyrics into her ear and she's gonna grab my dick. Uh,
so
Oh
it's
my
something
God.
different now.
so Jimmy's a fucking virgin. We're just gonna put that out there. And Jimmy, any retort, any clapbacks, any insults you want to toss me? No,
Nah,
you're just
no
gonna
insults.
you're just gonna lay there and take it like you never actually taken it. Okay, okay, all right. I
Nah,
expected as
I
much.
mean, I'm just like, I used to be afraid or embarrassed to say that I've not had sex yet, but now it's just like, you know what? I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. It just hasn't happened for me yet. It could have several times, but most of those times where I was just too scared, and then the other time where it could have happened, I was an idiot and didn't have a condom, and I'm still kicking myself in the ass for that.
All right,
But
walk us through that. What you just said, where
that
you
one,
didn't have a condom.
okay. So this was a little over 3 years ago, like March 2019. That I remember. So I was actually traveling at the time. I was in Portugal, and I was at his hostel. It was a pretty small hostel, actually. There were like three or four other guests there, and I got there on, I think, Friday early morning. So the hostess of the hostel let me in because it was still like 7 a.m. She hadn't opened up yet. And she got me checked in and everything, and then they were having breakfast, like just barely starting with breakfast. And there was this girl there, like I was 24 at the time, she was 20. I didn't know that yet, but like I saw her, I was like, this girl, like it's just one of those things where you just look at her and you know right away that something could happen. And so I just looked at her, I was like, I want this girl. And I was like, I got to figure out how to do this. I've got 2 days here, 2 nights. I need to figure out how to at least take her out to dinner or something, or do something. I don't know what. I don't know how this is gonna work, but I got to do something. And so anyway, the day went on. Uh, I think I did my own thing for most of the day Friday, part of which was take a nap because I didn't sleep really the night before. And then I had to do laundry. So this was the next day. I had to do laundry in the hostel. The washing machine worked okay, I think, but it was kind of a crappy machine, and the dryer worked for like 5 minutes and then it shut off. So I was screwed. So I had to take my big ass pile of laundry and go hang it outside. Like, I think they had some kind of a few clothes hangers outside the balcony of the hostel. And then that girl had been there earlier that day. We'd seen each other in passing a few times. And then we were both there in the evening while I was hanging up my clothes to dry. And then she came into the room that I was in for hanging up my clothes. And I was like, okay, so she's coming in to try to talk to me. So is she interested? So we chatted for a little while. And then I was like, okay, this is my opportunity right now to try to do something. So we ended up, like, after I finished hanging my clothes, we ended up going out to dinner, walking around town. It was a cute little town too in Portugal. So it was like the perfect little romantic date. And then we started walking back to the hostel afterwards. It was like a 20-minute walk back. And then a few minutes into the walk, I asked her, like, would it be okay if I kissed you? And she said yes. So we went to, like, this is kind of like the little Disney portion of my story as well. So we went to, like, this little area that was a little bit away from the main town square and main street and under a tree. And we started making out. And at that point, I was like getting really to a point where I wanted to continue, but I also wanted to stop because I know I didn't have a condom with me. So I was like, I don't know what to do here. I want to take this girl to bed. And I want to do this. I want this to be my first, but I can't because I don't think it would be a good idea. And so we ended up just walking back to the hostel after we got back. We made out again a second time before going to our rooms. And then she was there because our rooms were actually not that far apart in the little main hallway. So we both walked to our rooms and then made out again and then said goodnight.
Wait, so
And
she
what I wanted was like what I wanted to do was when she walked into her room, close the door, was go back, knock on her door, and go from there, but I didn't.
so she was down when you guys are about to you're making out for the first time and
Yeah.
but you're undress she's trying to undress you, you're trying to undress her and like it gets to that point.
No, because like the first time we made out was under the tree, like a little away from the town square. So we were just like feeling each other a little bit. No undressing or anything like that, obviously, but we were kind of getting into it a little bit. But I was like, I was getting really excited, but I didn't want to take it too far because I knew that if I did, I may make a huge mistake that I would still to this day regret. If anything, like if I got her pregnant or something like that.
So when it came
So,
to decision time, like, and you
hmm
realized you didn't have a condom at that
yeah.
point, and then you were like, no, was
hmm
she like, yes, though? She was willing to not have a condom.
No, she wasn't at that point, but like I could tell that she did kind of want to do it if I were to push it to that point. But she wasn't at a point where like I'm gonna jump on you. There's no turning back. Like not quite yet, but it could have gone to that. I
Yeah,
think like if I kept pushing.
yeah,
So
100%.
yeah,
That's what I was getting, dude. You
hmm
once
yeah,
you start kissing, grabbing, and you're alone.
yeah, yeah,
It's out of my hands. It's out of my hands. It was God. It was God that pushed us together.
yeah.
So so I had to come inside. But no, Jimmy's like, no, man, I don't want a family
Yeah.
right now, and my parents would be angry with me, and I have a
Actually,
future.
like for a
But
full
I
month
still feel
or
great.
2 months after that, I was like, I don't think I had ever been, um, like, I don't think I can say that I'd ever had the devil crawl up my dick, if you want to call it that, for so much longer than after that. Because, like, that was, that was like my fantasy for a month and a half after that, to the point where I almost wanted, because like I was still traveling for that entire month, and I wasn't that far away from Portugal because I was going to Spain after that for another trip. And I thought if I like after this the Spain trip, should I just take the train back to Portugal because I knew she was going to be there for like another week or two, and this
Mm.
time I'd come prepared and all this. I was like, should I actually go out of my way to go back and go back to her? So
Now that would have been definitely a rom com right there.
yeah, yeah,
Like you came back, like yes, I came back for you.
yeah.
You're just like, I got a condom now. Can we,
Yeah, I
can we,
was like,
This.
that was like so stupid. Like earlier in that day, because like we had our little thing on Saturday night, and then earlier that day on Saturday, when I was walking around town, I got a few things at the grocery store. I was like, when I was looking back, it's like, why didn't I just get condoms at the grocery store if I suspected that something might happen between me and her?
Hindsight 2020, bro.
Mistakes, man.
We all could have planned everything better. And our
Yeah.
parents all could have planned everything better. But hey, shit happens.
It happens,
And
right?
what if you actually did go back with a condom
Mhm.
and she didn't actually recognize you? She'd be like, "Who the hell is this creep?"
Oh
you probably
god,
feel like
that would
shit,
have been
dude.
really bad.
Like she literally fucked someone else like right after, and then she just forgot all about it. Like she wouldn't even care. That's what I that's what I imagine now. Like if you were to just randomly meet a girl, I don't know how long ago was this?
This was 3.5 years ago.
3.5 years
Now at
ago.
this point, yeah.
Okay. Well, this is if I ran into a girl just happenstance wherever and she was down to
Hmm.
fuck, I imagine it was now or never, basically. Like
Yeah.
we don't have time for us to build a relationship and like I can come
Hmm.
back and you're gonna remember me or something like
Yeah.
that.
No.
So
No.
it was only
It's like,
contextual to we're just
mhm.
here and it's now or never.
Yeah.
So that's why I say like if you left and you thought about coming back, it's like no. You should have did it.
Yeah.
You need to do it then. You got
Yeah.
to be in the moment, which is
Hmm.
great. I appreciate that for most sexual occurrences, I guess. All right,
Yeah.
now it's time for the finale. Let me just
All right.
not the finale. I'm sure we got some porn stuff to talk about, or at least I do. So I was sexually active from a very young age, and I remember being outside of a relative's house, and this girl and I can't remember if we had penetration sex or we were just kissing, but we definitely were naked. Like we were showing our genitals to each other on. So the house was like a small house, and there was a gate that goes to the backyard. And I remember being outside of I think it was a bathroom window or just some window, but the blinds, the window was closed. And me and this girl all I remember is that we were just like taking off our pants or taking off our shirt. And I can't even remember, this may have been fucking 7 or 8. And I don't remember any sexual contact. I just remember, and I think we got caught. I can't remember who caught us or if I got beat or what the hell actually happened. I just remember being on that side of that house and seeing genitals or seeing our whatever bodies, and that's kind of hazy. But that's really just to establish that like elementary school, maybe even before that. Like I was thinking about sex or we were experimenting and shit like that. So my next vivid experiences. So this same girl, we start in her house. We start showing each other our bodies still, and it goes to touching each other, and it goes to, and when we're doing this, her parents aren't there. It's just me and her, and church. Oh man. All right, so this is where I can turn it up a little bit. I can have a little bit more of a memory. But so at church, we'd go to this back room. There's a room behind. So the church was set up. There's this area. There's a pulpit, the pews and shit, and then there's a door that goes to the restrooms, and there's like a room, and then there's like a stairs that goes up to storage, and there's like a back area behind the pastor's thing, and then there's this hallway. So there were times where we would just go into this little hallway area, and then there's this little room where they teach like Bible study or some shit, like kids. And I just remember there being a bunch of kids shit in there. We would literally just run down there. Like I'd grab her hand, we'd run down there, and we'd just grab each other, just start ripping each other's clothes. And it just get really just like we only have a few minutes, but let's do this right now. So, and I can't even remember. I just remember kissing her neck and touching her, but still no contact. No, I don't remember any penetration or anything like that. Just experimenting still, I guess. There's nothing. I don't remember that. So I remember a time where still at her house or at a different house. She was there. It was dark. It was like really late at night, and I'd be sleeping in one room. She's in the other room. I remember sneaking out of the room I was in to the living room and literally just like grabbing her, like shaking her or like grabbing her and like making sure she was awake. I'm like, hey, this is me, like whispering and shit like that. Literally like, and doing the same shit again. I don't remember penetration or anything, like just kissing, feeling, just all that. And so the first time, it wasn't actually penetration. I don't even think it. So I've always been a fat bastard. Okay, so this is gonna sound. This is gonna be. So this is probably like 4th grade. It's me and her. We're making out the normal, grabbing her. I'm grabbing her tits, pussy, everything, all that. No cunnilingus. I don't think she ever sucked me off. And I just remember I took my dick out and she had no panties or anything. And I was like, okay, penetration. Yes, I'm going to stick it in. And I remember, so, all right, I'm going to get, it's like this. It's like this. All right, I'm like this. I remember being like this, and she was like this. She was like this. Okay. Now, it was literally like this. So, I don't remember feeling anything. I don't remember coming. I just remember like we did this, and she was fat and I was fat. So I'm like, what? So was like, like, did I not actually even go inside her vagina? And it was literally like, I hit her fucking belly button or some shit. Like, I don't even remember explicitly looking at my dick going inside of anything. It's just like, I'll just tell people, like I talk about this. Dude, this is my first time talking about this with anyone. So I'll just tell people, or I would just tell people this. I imagine that was me losing my virginity, but I don't think there's no hard evidence that actually even happened. Like there was no evidence of penetration that I remember. I just remember just doing that. So that was the only time. That was the only time that penetration may have happened. And I don't remember feeling any specific way about it. I was just like, let's try this. And she was down. And we were both fat fucks, though. That's the thing. So that fat sex, that's my life right now. So that's childhood for me. Oh, shit. Okay, no. So there are a couple of other experiences I can talk about. Now, dude, in the back of an Astro van, bro. I remember this is me and a kid I knew, a boy I knew. This was in the back of a van where his parents were driving. I don't even know where the hell we were going. But I just remember being in the back seat, the furthest back seat, me and him, and somehow we managed to just lay next to each other and get semi-undressed and I guess we grabbed each other's dicks. I guess. All I remember is that we were in the back of the van. He was in tighty whities and shit. I don't remember what the hell I was in, but I don't remember any more details about that. But it was in. The takeaway is that they were driving, like we were in a moving van with other people, and we were in the furthest back seat, naked, like he was naked. But again, I don't remember like we were grabbing each other, like maybe we were making out, or I don't fucking remember. But here's another one. Okay, so same place that this girl, same house that this girl and I were doing. The girl and I did this, right? Another boy. We were, and I'm pretty sure parents were home. So it was me and the boy in the. It was a pull-out. The bed was in the couch, and it was a pull-out bed. And we just shared, there just wasn't enough beds, so we shared that. And I just remember one night under the blankets, actually maybe it may have been the girl and that boy, dude. That may have been my threesome there.
Oh damn.
That may have been a threesome grope session. But
I never took you for a threesome, guy.
Dude. So we're under, I just remember being under the sheets, and I don't know if we were making out. We were definitely grabbing each other. We were definitely feeling tits, dicks, all that, dude. I don't remember any more details about it, but I was like, it was still like 4th, 5th grade. So I've fucked in a van. I've fucked in houses. I've fucked in churches. Dude, me now versus me as a fucking kid, completely different people. Because after elementary school and I left this girl and this boy and all that situation, all that shit I was doing, and I moved to, where did I go from Taylor? I think we went to Belton, and that's where Belton. So all that went away when I moved. My mom and I and my grandma moved to Belton, and that's where I started my life as a virgin. So I went from being this sexually active, prepubescent toddler or whatever the fuck, doing all of this crazy shit, to not having any sexual contact for over a decade, dude. Like, it's crazy for me to think I did all this shit as a kid, and then where people like Rick and where you would think about it, I had already done a lot. So middle school beginning of middle school, I was in Belton, and being in middle school, I recall I had like one crush, maybe. I didn't really talk to her. She was like a skinny Mormon, Frenchy white girl, and didn't really talk to her. All I remember is that one day it was like a book fair, and I bought her a fucking pencil. And I remember being outside of our whatever class we had together. I just gave it to her, and she was like, "Oh, thank you." And I was like, I was awkward about it. I didn't talk to her much. And I found out later that she actually kind of hated me because I got better grades than her. Apparently her parents were like, "That nigga can't get better grades than you. You have a Negro doing better than you in classes. You can't. You're failing. You are a failure." That's how I imagine. I found out from another girl. She was like, she was like, yeah, she doesn't, or something, like she doesn't like you or something because you're like really smart, and I'm like, oh, I wish that wasn't the case. But middle school, nothing. I don't have any memories, any experience, and no attraction outside of that one girl. And I didn't really think of her like sexually. It was just like I like her, she's cool, and her personality, she was quiet, a little timid, shy, and I was kind of attracted to that. But I don't remember having any sexual thoughts. So it's like leaving my childhood, like pre-toddler elementary school life, going to that, I just lost, and I moved to Belton. I just lost all of that that drive. I don't know. It's like it was all in me, and I got it all out. I sowed my wild oats in fucking elementary school. And high school, same fucking deal. So that's 3 years. 3 years. All right, viewers, 3 years. Middle school, nothing. 4 years, high school, nothing. That same girl, I didn't even really think about. High school, not really attracted to any of the girls there. I also wasn't even thinking about girls in general. And college, same fucking deal. Now there's a close call I can talk about, kind of like Jimmy here. But first 2 years of college, still nothing. Still like, yeah, I knew there were attractive girls there, but I didn't think about them sexually. I wasn't like, I want to fuck this girl, I want to fuck that girl. It's like, again, all of that sex brain, like I gotta fuck, it was gone for most of my life. And so when I'm trying to remember sexual experiences, like, wow, elementary kid me fucked. And me, like high school, middle school, college me, dry as shit. So like, I'm looking up to middle school me, like, how are you so open? Like, you doing all this shit, and it's all gone. You know, you don't use it, you lose it, dude. It's ridiculous. I'm a contradiction in every sense of the word. So yeah, now I think about it, kids were talking about elementary school, kids were talking about sex, even though I was just more social as a kid, I guess. Yeah, elementary school, growing up, Taylor and all that shit, dude. Wow. All right, so close call in college. This is junior year, 2016, and this is where I didn't know you, Rick. I don't think I knew you either, Julian. But 2016,
we may have met already. I don't remember.
2016, my aunt, my favorite aunt, shout out, rest in peace, Aunt Viola. She passed away. I didn't go to her funeral, and I was at Dobie, and I cried, and I realized that I wasn't taking care of myself, and I needed to change my life. At the time, I was no energy, fat as hell, over 300 pounds, and didn't give a shit about anything. But I was like, after realizing or finding out my aunt died, I made a huge lifestyle change, diet, exercise. And that 2016 was a crazy ass year that I'm hoping to repeat very soon. And so 3 months, I lose like 100 pounds. And I'm wired. I have so much energy. Sleep 4 hours and I can go all day. Exercising for 2 hours a day straight. And that was when I was at my most, I got the most attention too. I remember, so this close call I was working at Dobie Market, and it was a convenience store. I was a cashier. I was the only one in there. This girl, I definitely had sexual thoughts about this girl, but she comes in while we're stocking. Usually it's one employee in the store, but when you're stocking, we have deliveries. My other coworker was with me at the time. So we're just handling business. There's no one else in the store. She comes in. I'm behind the counter. My coworker's behind the counter. And we didn't have any interactions before that point that I remember. So she walks in. This girl is thick. So ass for days. Curvy, freckly, red hair, long, shoulder length at least. And she walks in, and at the time, dude, I didn't care. Like, she wasn't even on my radar sexually, even though thinking about her and then when I thought about her afterwards, I was like, oh no. So she comes in, she looks at me, she's like, how you doing? And I'm just handling work. I'm not even really thinking. I'm just like, hey, how you doing? And then she goes, how you doing? And I'm like, I just pause and I look at her, and like I'm looking at my coworker, and I'm like, fine. And but I get defensive, bro. It just doesn't nothing. Like I said, it's like 8 years has passed since I completely even forgot I was fucking around in elementary school. Like all of that just wiped from my memory because of parental trauma. So that part of me is just gone. So none of this apparently that was sexual aggression. And I respond not knowing it was that, like, can we do this some other time? That's what I fucking say. Like, can we do this later? And I remember her face. She looked so disgusted. Like, she was like and it was me, her, and my coworker. So I snubbed her not knowing at the time. And she just walks away. And I just look at my coworker. I'm just like, what was that? And she was like, yeah, I don't fucking know. And he had a girlfriend at the time. I'm a little surprised he didn't tell me. Like, she seemed like she was trying to get something from you. But at the time, I was like, oh, I don't know how long it took me for me to realize that was she was trying to flirt with me and shit. And I had no experience with that. So I remember one time afterwards, I felt kind of bad. I was like, oh no, I made her feel like shit. So I remember sitting down with her in the cafeteria, and we talked a little bit, but she had ignored me, dude. Like, she was still pissed when I tried to reach out and be like, hey, I didn't
Damn.
know. Or so to this day, I still regret it, dude. Apparently I hear she was fucking around, dude. She would have been crazy. It would have been amazing, but I was a virgin, so didn't know what that would have been like. And okay, let's switch gears a little bit. I think we've talked about sex enough. I want to transition into porn. Now, I know, Jimmy, you ain't got shit here. You don't know shit. You haven't seen any porn. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I did see one clip once, and that kind of re-solidified my point as to why I didn't watch it and didn't ever care to go back to watching a second clip. So
What'd you watch, and when was this?
this was like 3+ years ago. Also, it was actually a clip from an actual movie, but like it was I don't even remember what kind of movie it was. Like some normal movie about some musician dude. I don't know. But then at the very end, there's a clip. It was supposedly a very infamous clip of the guy getting a blowjob at the end of the movie, and it was like one of those things where they say that this scene was totally uncalled for. Like, why is this even in the movie? It has nothing to do with anything. And my curiosity at the time, because I kind of had like that devil crawling up my dick feeling again, I was like, I'm kind of curious about this scene. I want to see this. And so I ended up watching it, and I was like, well, like I was in one mindset, like the kind of horny mindset, but then when I was in a different mindset, I was like, why did I watch this? Like, I don't even know why I thought that I would have enjoyed seeing this. So, because it wasn't what I was expecting it to be, and it was a lot more disgusting than I thought it was going to be.
And
So,
this was just a blowjob scene?
yeah, but like a porn kind of video.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they put a porn part of the movie at the end of the movie. So when a movie that was just supposed to be a regular film, which was kind of weird also. Yeah.
And so this was on a DVD?
No, not on DVD. Like this was online. Like it wasn't on Pornhub. It was on some other website. So that's where that's where that clip was. I think actually, in fact, it was on. If I remember correctly, it was on movietrailers.com. Believe it or not, you could watch it on that. That's what you could see it on.
And you didn't jerk off, you didn't.
No, I did. Like I was in that mindset. Like I was jerking off to that. I was like in this totally just out of control kind of mindset. And so that's what I was watching when like I was jerking off and watching that. But then after, like right after I finished, I asked myself, why did I watch this? Like what I felt like a different person during when I was jerking off and watching it, and then right after for the ending of the clip. I was like, I feel like a totally different person from then, 4 minutes ago, to now. Why did I do this?
So you felt shame and regret.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've heard that that's how it's bad when you jerk off and you feel shame after.
What do you think, Chief? What do you think?
Well, nothing wrong with jerking off. That's one thing for sure. It's
Yeah.
it's a shit. We all do that.
Yeah.
And then like during UT days and everything like that. Oh my god, I was just horny as all the time, as much as I can, and get with girls. And I know I could actually say I got three girls. Not at the same time, but freaking three girls from the cheerleading squad.
Oh, nice.
I was at my peak. I was just like, I don't know why, but I was just like, even the girls that I worked with, it's just like, oh my god, I gotta have you, and things like that. And I know, but you know what? I'll tell you this right now. Watching porn can definitely affect you, and not in the right way. Because me, like again, I messed around so much, and I thank God I've never caught anything. And I've always protected myself, but again, I never wore condoms. I didn't like wearing condoms because there was just no feeling when you wear a condom. And that's just the truth. That's just, again, my opinion. But, when I didn't want to be with a girl, then I'll just end up watching porn, 5 minutes, whatever. Okay, done. All right, go to sleep and stuff like that. So, me as being very confident and then watching porn and then me being in a relationship, next for whatever reason, psychologically, it affects you. So it's like I could watch porn now, I'll get hard. I could be with my partner, I am not getting hard at all, unless she's going down on me. But then when it comes to penetration, it's like, again, psychological fucks you up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when it used to be like, back in my dorm room or whatever, it's just like, used to be like every day, maybe 3 times a day or whatever. Now, if I'm not doing anything, that's what I would be doing, and but I didn't think it would actually affect me physically if when I'm with somebody. Because, hey, Chris, dumbass,
What?
remember remember that one girl, Elizabeth?
Yeah.
In the very beginning, it was like it was not working right when I spent the night at her.
Oh shit.
Like, yeah, we're making out, great. Next thing like, oh, what the fuck? And she would kind of got disappointed, but then, I mean, after a while, it worked, but it's just like that's really weird. And then not that long ago, when I was, when I talked to somebody, it's like, oh yeah, by watching porn like a lot will end up fucking you up in the head because if you're going to be actually out with somebody physically, because you're always thinking about other images, you're not thinking about that one person. And I actually thought about that, and then it actually did happen because I was with somebody. And for whatever reason, I just felt good, but at the same time, like, okay, nothing was working downstairs, and I'm trying to have all these images in my head, and then it start working, but it just, I just felt like it wasn't right. I felt really disappointed in myself. I felt bad because this girl's giving me her attention, So there's a pros and cons with porn. And again, this is my own personal opinion. I mean, it's great, yeah, because it's like it's a great fix, but then also these actors, even the ones that are older, they're probably more than like they're not watching porn, they're doing it. And so there's it's not really affecting them for one. Two, they could probably have easier access to like Viagra, Cialis, or whatever, and it's easy for them. And I have to admit, I I like okay, I'm thinking that might be the problem. Um, I just pop up a few pills, nothing's working. I like, oh, only take two. I'm taking 6 pills, nothing's working. So again, I mean, that's where it's like, okay, I'm not even gonna date. I don't want to date with anybody because I just don't want that to happen. And then for a long time, I wasn't with anybody, because I just felt like, oh my god, I can't perform. And me, this is the guy that would like be fucking that girl, be fucking that girl, and I'll be fucking her in the back room, I'll be fucking her at her plate. I was that confident until fucking porn pretty much fucked me up. I'm just watching, oh, this is kind of cool. Let's go ahead and I want to do this, I want to do that. And again, it became nonstop.
What
You
was your favorite fetish slash category slash whatever? What were you
know,
drawn to?
oh my God, I don't know why, but it's just like two guys and a female, like double penetration or, freaking sandwich her, like, she's giving head while the other guy is fucking her. And it's like, for some for whatever reason, I always thought making the girl satisfied, you know. And yeah, I mean, I actually had my partake when I had two girls at the same time. Personally, I was like, yeah, I liked it, but then for whatever reason, I kept on thinking, oh man, it's like one girl, two guys just smashing that shit, and then of course gang bangs and shit like that. But and again, I've been invited to a couple places where they actually have that, and I was like, cool, all right. But I don't know, like fantasy is totally different than reality, you know. So thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to be fine. I can go ahead and do this. Doesn't always turn out to be that way. You Have I experienced a lot? Oh God, yeah. Do I regret any of them? No.
Wait, experienced a lot of what?
Like being into parties and stuff like that. Where
Yeah.
uh, yeah, like fuck yeah. But there's also parties that I went to that I was so uncomfortable because they were doing drugs. Like I was like, damn, okay, not my part, not my, you know. And of course, I know myself. I would never be influenced to go ahead and try it. Fuck no, no matter what anybody tells me, I would never do it. You know. But again, I learned a lot from the things of what I've what I encountered to the point that it it affects you. Or it affected me. Now again, it could probably be just only me, and it'll affect somebody else totally differently. But one thing's for sure, like watching porn, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like maybe how much you're watching, and if that does take control over your own mindset, it will fuck you up. You know.
So now, for Fat Bastard, if you guys didn't already know, you dumbass viewers, something happened between elementary school, that boundary when I went to Belton and started life in Belton into elementary and middle school. That was porn. My, I'm trying to remember. For me, it started off with softcore scenes in movies. One of my favorite movies that I remember pulling out of my mom's binder DVDs that she had. One, all right, viewers, put this on your fucking list. What's Love Got to Do with it? With, was it Angela? No, Angela Bassett? Really? That was her? I think so.
I think it's Angela Bassett.
Played Tina, and Lawrence Fishburne played Ike, dude. This movie, this crazy ass movie. Ike and Tina, that was a toxic relationship, but there was a one scene in that movie where so Ike was he was fucking around. He was fucking because they were on tour, so he fucked whoever. So, but I want to say he was fucking like 2 or 3 of his damn backup singers or dancers or whatever the fuck. So there was just one scene where they were just in a bed. You couldn't even see anything. It was just softcore. It was just the noises. And then fucking Lawrence Fishburne at the end, he's like, and I'm just like, he's literally just those fucking noises. You don't see anything. And I want to say when he does that, it's literally just, cinematic softcore shit. You just see like their backs or something. It's just, the scene is just his back. And I think it shows Angela Bassett, her like face. And she's like, her fucking eyes roll. And I'm just like, that was my favorite scene. Jerked off to that a billion times. Other one, other movie with a decent. It wasn't sex though. It was like it was a striptease type thing. Gabrielle Union. Woo!
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
Gabrielle Union in Cradle to the Grave. Jet Li, DMX, Anthony Anderson. Good ass. I gotta watch that again today.
She is fine as hell.
There was a scene where she was stripping. She's trying to like con this one guy, distract him and shit. So the music, I don't know what the song was, but it's I don't fucking know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hot and she's undressing. She's got this leather skirt on, taking off real slow, and I'm just like, oh man. And again, it was just a strip. She had like red lingerie or red lace and shit on. And I think she takes her bra off. No, because it's a movie, so you can't show tits in a movie. So maybe she just, but it's a rated R movie. I was watching rated R movies like in elementary school. So jerked off to that a billion times. All right, those are my top 2 that I can remember. Oh no, there's another one that I remember. Fuck. Idlewild. So Idlewild with Andre 3000. There was a scene where, kind of similar, softcore, they were just in the back of a car. And Idlewild is supposed to be like takes place in like the 1800s, 1900s, some old school town or some shit where he's like a piano man. Good movie outside of that sex scene, but I just jerked off to that sex scene. It's softcore. So, beginning of middle school, I'm at home alone, Ma's at work, and on my computer, I don't know how I found out, I see this site, the porn site, and I don't remember the name of it. I just remember my first porn, or internet porn, was hardcore, where you saw everything, fucking, it was an old blonde bitch, like a granny type, and it was a cream pie.
Nice.
And once I saw that, jerked off to that, it was a whole new level of immersion where you finally saw everything. Like before, it was just softcore shit in movies. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm doing this all the time now. Like I got to explore now. Like what else can I get into? So at first it was cream pies, old ladies, bush, and I guess gangbang, but not really. I really just cared if it was a cream pie. I just wanted to see that. It was gross, but cool at the same time. It's one of those, but it looks cool, but like, that's all. It's still that way now. But it starts off, the frequency increases. Like, I go from like once a day. I remember it was like 3-5 times a day at one point. And this was every day. This is whenever I was at home, bored or whatever, do that. and it gets even freakier. We start doing fucking gay shit. Although I didn't really go into the gay shit. I maybe watched a few, but I was like, gay didn't really do anything for me. And hentai was pretty cool, but still kind of the same thing. There wasn't, when I started doing it more frequently, you get less out of it. So it's like it's a drug because it's causing that reaction in your brain, dopamine release and all that shit.
Yeah.
You keep hitting it, and you get less and less. It takes more and more, and then you get less and less, and then you're just doing it, and then you get nothing. So over time, I didn't stop. It's not like my frequency went down. It stayed the same. It was every day, multiple times a day even, and I just wasn't getting any. I was still doing it. I still wanted to do it. That feeling like you need to do this, but it was like an addiction. And I didn't tell my friends about it. My friends didn't. And it's not like my friends at school, I didn't hang out outside of school. I was a fucking loner. Mom didn't want me hanging out with people she didn't fucking know. So at home, playing games on my computer at home. So didn't really have an opportunity to talk with friends and about porn and sex and all that shit. So where a lot of you guys, fucking you two, probably talked about whatever outside of school with friends, me, I didn't talk about that with anyone. So that goes on for ever, literally until, like I said, 2016, and even back in 2016 when I talked about that close call with that girl in that convenience store, I wasn't, that whole stint from middle school, high school, college, where I didn't have any feelings of attraction to people, or I didn't think about it at all. It was the porn thing. That porn it ruins your appetite for actual sexual interaction. And you think, if I want to get off, if I want to have sex, I watch porn. And ultimately that's destructive.
Yep.
So most recent sexual experiences for me were after school, 2019. I was still watching porn a lot, but I was on Adult Friend Finder looking for old bitches to fuck, and I found one fat black bitch that was down, and this was summer 2019. And I remember being like, when was the last time I even thought about fucking someone, or when I was nervous, and I didn't even, like, my memories from elementary school as a kid didn't even really come up. I was a virgin. Again, I re-virginized over fucking a decade. And Chief, we were fucking roommates.
Yeah.
So it was nighttime. I'm like, I'm gonna go to her fucking place. I got her address. We were only talking for a day or two, and I take a handle of my fucking whatever fucking booze I had. I'm just like, I need something. Like, I'm too fucking nervous. So I go over, and she's in a shitty ass fucking apartment. Jesus Christ, fucking shitty ass neighborhood. But I didn't care. I'm just fucking nervous. So I get in, see her, bald ass head. She's bald granny. But I'm like, fuck it. So we're kissing, and I remember I told her, like, oh, your lips are soft. Like, her lips, whew, whew. And I got into it. But so it starts off, I'm sucking on her tits. We start off making out, sucking her tits. And that was the first time I remember eating pussy. And it was amazing. Like, pussy tastes great. All right, I'm telling you. at first, this is my first time eating pussy from what I remember. And apparently I wasn't that great at it. I just remember like you hold the labia. Oh, labia is the lips, right? You hold that. I just remember like here's a clit. You just kind of massage it a little bit. You finger it a little bit, lick it up a little bit, and the taste wasn't. It didn't taste like anything, but it was like a liquidy kind of viscous, just a little bit of viscous, just a little sticky, a little clear, but it was clean as shit, dude. I was like, wow, this is. And then like her moaning, it teleported me, and I didn't think when I was doing it, I didn't even think about porn though. That's the thing. Like up to this point, I told you, decade of porn, my brain was fried. But as soon as I got into that and like moaning, I'm massaging her, rubbing her tits, I'm eating her up, and I'm getting off to just that. So I remember she starts vibrating, she's orgasming or whatever, and I'm just like, I don't think I came yet. Maybe I was hard at the time while I was eating her, but so I know I was thinking of fucking her, like penetration, but I didn't have a condom at the time, and she was like, I was down to not use a condom. That's my whole thing, is like I'd rather fuck older women that aren't fertile without a condom. It would be a different story if she was like 20, but she was like 50, dude. And she was like, oh, you don't have a condom? And I'm like, no. I'm like, can we still do something? And she was like, And dude, she gave me some fire ass head with those soft pillow lips of hers, dude. I remember after jerking off multiple times a day, dude, my shit was sensitive. Hella sensitive, dude. I had to just like, don't, whatever you're doing, just like keep doing that, but like not, it kind of hurts. It's like, and she's like, oh, you're so sensitive. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't say anything, but I was like, keep doing that. Just keep going. But it hurts, but it feels good at the same time. So I don't know. She probably did it for like a minute or two or some shit, but it was. And then she swallowed it, dude. And I was like, God damn. That's the only blowjob I've had, dude.
Relax.
All right. So I see her like 2 more times, or maybe 3 more times, over like the course of a year, and my thing now is eating pussy, dude. I gotta eat it. I gotta eat. And actually, I don't even have to do penetration, dude. Like I remember coming while I was eating it. Like we orgasm at the same time kind of thing. So the thing is, the one time I did penetration with her only lasted for like not even a minute, dude. I came immediately. And that bothered me. It sucks. And the next time I did penetration, same thing happened with another woman. And that's my weak point. Like, I've got pretty good tongue game, I want to say, because she's like, yeah, you know what you're doing. Like, after the first time, because I was awkward, but after the second time around, she was like, you did a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So that's me, your boy out here pleasing the hoes in ways that they haven't. I need to work on my tongue game more. But my weak point is there's no pipe game for me. I need to get stamina up. I need to get flexibility up. And porn now, as I've gotten healthier, taking care of myself, my need or dependency on porn. And I discovered this in 2016. I was watching porn, and then I changed my lifestyle, didn't think about porn, didn't care about sex. And even now, the healthier you get, the less you think about porn. I haven't watched porn in like a week. And like I said, over pandemic, I haven't said this, but porn every day, multiple times a day. But you get healthier. This is my viewers. Listen to me. You get healthier. It just goes away. All right. Take care of yourself, diet, exercise, it goes away. You might feel like a piece of shit at first, and it's okay. You can call it a relapse if you just want to jerk off one time. You're just like, I really gotta fuck right now. You just can't. You jerk off. It's fine. You get over it, dude. It's for me. It was easy once I started becoming healthier. I didn't even think about it. Porn just I don't know what it does to your brain. Like your brain, you get healthier and your brain's like, addiction, what's that? Porn, what's that? I don't even watch that. I don't even know what that is. So I can watch porn now. I can still jerk off, but there's no reliance on it for me anymore. And it didn't require effort on my part, just healthier lifestyle. And that's really the best advice I can give anyone wanting to talk about porn addiction or deal with porn addiction is just mental health, physical health, exercise, and it doesn't matter anymore. So where do we go from here? All right, we'll end on fantasies. So, Jimmy, I know you've been waiting. Walk us through one of yours.
Been waiting. All right, so I guess I can say a couple things like relating to what we just talked about as well as for the fantasies part. So that one blowjob clip that I did see from that movie that I felt shameful for after seeing, that kind of triggered something for a little while and still now to where I just got like some, I'd probably even say unhealthy um, fascination or obsession or I don't know with oral sex itself. Like if I jerk off now, that's all I think about. It's like I don't think about anything else that I used to in the past when I would jerk off. And I feel like that kind of gives me an unhealthy but also an unrealistic expectation for what would happen if I were with a sexual partner. So like I would just be expecting one thing right away due to how I jerk off, but then what it would actually come to would be, well, this is not realistic, and she might not or probably would not want to do that, at least right away, or not till much later on. So it just kind of creates just just like an unhealthy view of sex in general for me personally, and unrealistic expectations with a partner. So, because what I like before the whole blowjob fascination, what I would jerk off to, like images in my head that I jerk off to when I was a teenager, was like undressing the girl, feeling her boobs, like caressing her butt cheeks and her thighs, all that stuff, massaging her vagina, all that. But then it just switched to where the only thing that I can jerk off to with the excitement level that I want is oral sex. And I don't really like that because it's just, I feel like there's more to it than that. Like I could get more excitement out of other kinds of stimulation than just that. And I also wouldn't want to be dating somebody and then like that's all I expect from her. Or like if I see that she might be a little bit more sexually liberated than another girl, like she might be down to try other stuff, then that would just kind of trigger something right away. Like, okay, well, then maybe I can date this girl only for fulfilling my fantasies and desires instead of actually wanting to be with her to enjoy each other's company or like enjoy actually having sex with her and feeling something and not just being having the unrealistic expectation of just fulfill my fantasy and that's all I want. So
very admirable,
yeah.
Jimmy. You are a lover, not a fighter. A lover, not a fucker. You wanna love these hoes out here. You just want to be like, I just want you to emotionally satisfy me, and that's enough for me. That's all a nigga really
Not
needs.
always.
Yeah, you and that fucking 20-year-old, you were like, nah, no emotions. Just let's just do this.
Let's just go.
All right, what about you, Chief? I know you've got the most experience out of all of us. So just talk about your first or whatever your most preferred fantasy was, and when how you fulfilled it and all that context.
You know, to be blind, it's, I definitely understand what he was saying. It's just like, shit, I was wild. I was really freaking wild. I actually had like what, three girls in one day, you know, and that's when I wasn't with anybody, you know. And yeah, and I had multiple partners, and again, thank God I've never caught anything because for one, I don't like wearing condoms. That's I just don't feel anything, you know. But I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, it's like I have a great partner. She's awesome. Um, in my mind, I know it's like I'm not satisfying her the way I would like it to be. Because again, porn has kind of like somewhat fucked me up because yeah, again, freaking 3 to 5 times a day and this and that. Why I can't stop? It becomes an addiction, because I want to do this, I want to do that, but you don't know if your partner's going to actually do or be the same way, you know. But the love, the attention, I mean, being with her is great. It is somewhat like saying fulfilling. I know not the sexual part, but she's definitely fulfilling in every aspect. We're still working on things, which I am happy to say. But fantasy wise, oh my god, seriously, even some of the girls I've gone out with, like, oh my gosh, have you ever thought about being in porn? Because I was that crazy. I was down like that. I was just like, shit, we could be at a party and the girl's getting fucked right there, and like, and this happened in San Diego. That freaking there was one girl in the room, a whole bunch of guys surrounded. I was the first one to fuck. Let's do this, and she's giving me a hit, and I started fucking her. You know, and I didn't care if anybody was looking. I was just getting my satisfaction, and I know I was. And actually, I took her home afterwards. You know, and we fucked a lot throughout the night. But and then I met her maybe a couple times after that, and that was it. No contact whatsoever. But then I kept on saying, I kept on putting somebody like on a high pedestal, like saying, I want that girl to be like this. Not specifically say being with that type of person, but I want somebody like this, somebody that loves to give oral. That's not just only on a sexual level, but God, I want my best friend. You know, I want to marry. And then of course you see all these things that you see on TV. It's like, oh, like nice hotels. I'm right there, and just like have the windows wide open, and who cares if somebody's looking or whatever the case may be, or off a sunset bed. I mean, I have so many different fantasies, but but for the most part of it, yeah, it does affect you. It is an addiction when it comes to porn. I still have to admit, at least I've been better. Like, and I could see the difference hugely. I could see the difference when I'm not watching porn like for over a week, and then next I'm with my partner, and and she loves giving me head, and boom, it just burst in her mouth, and she loves to swallow, and I could tell like if like she would be there a long time, and next it's like it feels good, but then shit's not working. You know, next I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, and it just kind of fucks you up. And she's down there, and she knows you've been watching porn, and like, yeah, I'm sorry, and even though I'm in a great relationship, it's just like, again, it kind of fucks you up. So I mean, have I been good? Yeah, I haven't been watching. I haven't gratified myself at all. Because I keep myself occupied as much as much as possible. But I could definitely tell you this right now. But it's because I'm living by myself. Then I have every aspects of doing whatever I want to go ahead and do. But when I was actually staying with her, Um, at her place, was so totally different because that's something I wanted. I wanted to come home to her, and then our reflection on being with each other on a day-to-day basis, it just felt so right. It felt so good, and it's like this is what I want. And then when it came to being sexual, like oh my god, it was great. But then I had to come back home. Then everything changes from that point. Because you could say I'm horny, but then it's like okay, she's not around. What else is there? There's porn. At least maybe some people watch porn, some people will look at a magazine or whatever. But yeah, that's just my saying right there. It feels good to have somebody there to just take care of you and you take care of them because man, just like you, I love eating that pussy. I damn, it's like, oh honey, we don't have to be here for 5 minutes. Trust me, take your time, relax. I want to make you feel good. And when I do that, it's like, yum,
Yeah, take notes, Jimmy. This is real men at work. I'm talking
yum.
about
Yeah, and,
like
and you know what? Yeah, it takes time to actually, like in the very beginning, because I'm pretty sure I'd done that with my very first girlfriend. But it's just like after some time and practice and knowing what you're doing, it's like, shit, yeah, what I'm doing is right. How I'm making her feel good is also right. When you actually hear her moan and stuff like that, and or she's grabbing the back of your head and just squeezing, it's just like or like forcing you to like be into that hole, and I was like, it feels good because you know that you're making her feel good, so it makes me feel good. Knowing that I'm satisfying her, but just like any other woman, just like any other guy, yeah, it feels good when you're penetrating. Then getting to that climax. I'm not saying every day or every time is going to be perfect. Hell no. But just knowing it's like, okay, you have that one partner that's going to, make you satisfied in every aspect. I mean, yeah, again, I have the experience. I have some experience was just to the point of like, let's just fuck and have some fun and that's it. And some were basically, oh, I'm basically in love with you. I mean, everybody wants to have that one person in their life. Like I only known one girl who waited until she got married to have sex. I mean, does that happen? Yeah, but what's the chances of you meeting the next girl and she's the same way?
Right.
You know, I mean, it's rare. It is so rare because I'm like thinking, when I lost it, I was 14, and then of course I heard other people after time goes on like, I lost it at the age of 18 and stuff like that. And I've only known one other girl who I actually dated. She was a virgin until she was 26, and then I took it from her. And me, I was already not a virgin,
Mm-hmm.
but she was crazy. I actually had to get a restraining order on her because she was that fucking crazy. Like,
Damn.
like, damn, man, what the? And we weren't even together for like 3 months. That's how crazy she was becoming.
all
You
right, all
know?
right. We're getting off topic. We're just
Yeah.
supposed to stay on sexual fantasies. Now, from what I gather, Chief, you don't have any particular fantasy. You just do some crazy shit.
Okay.
You've gang banged public sex. There's just nothing particular. And I'm kind of the same way. I'm probably gonna be like Chief here. I'll just be in a situation where the opportunity arises for me to do something people think is crazy, and
And I'll
or
be
I'll
in.
want to, or just something will cross my mind like, bitch, we're in the park. Let's just right here. Let's just do it right here. Or, but it's not really a fantasy for me. It's just shit. All this shit, given my entire porn history, my experiences as a kid, dude. I'm not gonna say there's not much left for me to fantasize about, but all I want is just random experiences I can sum together into something that's enjoyable, that's memorable. So nothing in particular. I still like cream pies, but that's not with abortion and shit going on now. Fuck. don't know. But eating pussy, take notes, Jimmy. That's just watch some videos. Just watch some instructional porn. All right, I'm sure I can link you some. I can link you a tutorial. Actually, fucking Chief and I were gonna do a master class on eating pussy. You're Professor FB and Professor Chief. Ross,
Professor
this message. How,
Eating 101.
how to know when your hoe is faking it.
Actually, this is slightly still on topic, but do either of y'all know Tim Ferriss or his 4 Hour Work Week book? Or well, he has another one called The 4 Hour Body, and it's like about diet and exercise and getting healthy and all this stuff. But one little part is called How to Have Amazing Sex, and part of it in there is like it's like a very textbook 101 for how to massage your clitoris, and he has like this technique to do it where apparently she's gonna orgasm like 15 times in succession or something insane like that.
Oh, yeah, I gotta look that up, dude. Fuck. All right, so homework, viewers, go home tonight and jerk off to me. All right, now fuck off.